asks, is each individual owner responsible for notifying the body corporate manager of any maintenance repairs? One owner has a metal strip which has exposed the framing of the building. Unfortunately, they seem to have not made any effort in notifying the body corporate as the responsible entity. So yes, owners have an obligation to A, keep their own lot in good condition, and B, notify the body corporate if they identify an issue in the common property and it needs to be resolved. So they don't necessarily need to tell the body corporate manager, but each owner in a body corporate building is a member of the body corporate. So, you know, they've got a lot to lose as well. If you're an owner and you see something that you think you're the only person who's likely to notice and you just let it, you know, deteriorate, eventually when it needs to be repaired, it probably will cost more money than if it got addressed earlier, and that'll be funded by all owners, but including you in your levies. So the cheapest way to resolve things is quickly, and every owner therefore has a vested interest in, you know, not patrolling the common property actively, but if you see something, say something, pretty much. If an owner has not disclose something to the body corporate, and then when it does eventually get found out, that cost has blown out over time, some bodies corporate do try and seek that cost from the owner and rely on the owner's negligence as a reason why the body corporate should not pay it. So just thinking about body corporate maintenance, you know, in a lot of cases the roof of the building is body corporate, and the only person who knows if the roof is leaking is the unit underneath it, who would see the water stain on the ceiling. So most, you know, normal people would see a watermark after a big rainstorm and maybe they'd look at it one time and let it rain next time and see what happens, or they'd report it. Whereas other people might let that rain leak go on for 5 years and it's destroyed the ceiling of their unit completely, and there might be lots of mold in their apartment, and the floor's damaged and the walls are damaged and doors are buckling. So if that were the case, and what could have been a $1,000 repair has turned into a $25,000 repair, the body corporate may still be responsible technically, but the body corporate would say, well, look, you didn't tell us about this issue and you've therefore caused it to become much more expensive for all owners. And the body corporate was not negligent because it didn't notice. It does not inspect everyone's property regularly to look for body corporate maintenance responsibilities. So each owner has the obligation to, you know, keep an eye out and tell the body corporate what's going on. So there's no law that clearly says if you don't say something within 30 days it becomes your cost. There's nothing clear cut like that. It depends on the individual circumstances of each case and what a reasonable person would have done. You know, if they identified a defect and they could actually identify that it was a defect that needed to be fixed and then didn't tell someone, that's where they might end up shouldering some cost responsibility, not for the repair itself, but for the difference in the repair had they reported it to the correct person earlier.